So as I mentioned in the previous thing, is the president is looking at unemployment. As you see here, Congress, the president, other policymakers pay close attention to this so they can take necessary steps to get people back to work. Obviously, whether it be election season or whether it be coronavirus season, which happens to also be election year, or just any other year, they're paying attention to that stuff because if everybody's working, everybody's happy, everybody's going to be happy with who? They'll be happy with the president, they'll be happy with their representatives, they'll be happy with the bureaucracy they deal with. They're going to be happy. If they, on the other side of that, there's a lot of people unemployed, there's going to be a lot of unhappy people who they're going to turn around and blame. And so that's obviously what they're looking at from the political standpoint, but also from a healthy economy standpoint, is that more people are in work, the better chance these people having jobs, the better chance that they are going to get reelected. So what are they doing? They're trying to constantly take steps to do that. Would be granting money to companies. When I was selling cars during that little short stint, it was actually during a really bad time in the car industry. Maybe part of this recession, it was 2008. Early 2009, and so maybe there was some of that, but it may have just been the car industry. I really don't remember. Again, I was 20-something years old at that point, but I still really wasn't paying attention to what was going on as I do now. Chevy had to be bailed out by the government. Why? Because that was, I don't know how many thousands or millions of jobs that Chevy employed, and if Chevy went under, how many people would lose their job or lose their livelihood? So the government bailed out the auto industry. It was a point of pride for Ford at the time, which I was selling for, that they didn't take the bailout, and that's how well they were doing. Even though they were struggling as well, they were doing good enough because more people still were buying Ford over Chevy. But Chevy was bailed out, other auto industries were bailed out by the government, giving them money to keep those people working till that car, non-buying car time passed, that lull and the car selling stuff. Just to keep people in jobs, because if those people lose their jobs, there are going to be a lot of problems, as you saw on the previous slide with the personal issues and economic issues. There are 4 basic kinds of unemployment that exist. You can get into more detailed stuff if you really look for it, but as always, you kind of group it into just a few things. There's 4 basic kinds of unemployment that are going to exist in America. It's going to be frictional, seasonal, structural, and cyclical. We'll talk about all 4 of them on the following slides. And kind of break them down as to see which ones are normal unemployment, because that does exist. Because as I mentioned, unemployment always exists. It's always going to be there. It's just a matter of when and what type is it. That's very important to know, as we'll talk about. So talk about frictional first on the following slide. What is frictional unemployment? If you had to guess, hopefully you would guess that it's the most common type. Why? Because it's the first one we're talking about. There's a phrase about unemployment always existing, even during a booming economy. Even at the best time in America, the best time in any economy in the world, there's going to be unemployment that's going to exist, as we mentioned before. Frictional unemployment occurs when people take time to find a job. So what is frictional unemployment? It is your common type of unemployment. Why? Because somebody is looking for a job. Whether it be because they were because they quit a job and moved to another one, maybe they were fired. Why are they fired is going to be a $10 million question, because it may fall to another category. If they're fired because they suck at their job, they're frictionally unemployed. They're fired because they said, you know what, I'm done, I'm out. Here's my 2-week notice, and in 2 weeks they're unemployed looking for a job. It's this common unemployment that happens. This is the one they really want to pay attention to, because if this is happening a lot, why are so many people losing their job? They're going to look at these other ones as well, but why are people losing their job? Is it an industry thing? Is it a race thing? Because people be firing people for other reasons. They look at that stuff too. Is it a sex thing? Is it a woman versus man thing? Is it they're firing the kids now because of child labor laws and things like that? And that's why unemployment's changed. There's like 10 million different things they can look at, but they're looking at frictional unemployment on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, to see what's going on with that and why it's occurring. They might have changed jobs, they might have been laid off, they might need to take time to find the right job and finish school, take time off from working for a variety of other reasons. Why did they become unemployed? There's so many reasons that you can look at. As you see right there, they've been laid off. Why did they get laid off? Okay, that's a big thing the government's going to look at. It's going to be a big thing that the company's looking at. Obviously, that's what you're going to be looking at. Why did you get laid off? Did you take time to find a job after you finished school? You know, did you go back to school and look for a job? Are you a college graduate who just recently got out of high school 4, 5, 6 years ago, who's now looking for a job? You're unemployed the moment you graduate school, and you've been looking for a job until you find one. Okay? You take time off work for a variety of reasons. Maybe you just said, you know what, I'm going to take a little siesta from work. I'm done. I'm going to take a month or 2 off. I'm financially suited, and I just want to take a break and then get back into the job force. Or maybe you left because of family issues. Maybe you left because you wanted to go be a stay-at-home mom for 4 or 5 years or whatever. There's a lot of different reasons. Stay-at-home dad too. Somebody wants to stay at home for a variety of different reasons, but those are all due to being frictionally unemployed. They're common things that happen all the time, but you want to know why as part of that. And the census is part of the answer to those questions. By not finding a job immediately after beginning a search, you are considered frictionally unemployed. If you don't immediately find a job and you spend time being unemployed, you're frictionally unemployed. Again, this is common, this is not crazy, but we still want to pay attention as to why and how many. This is where many people in the United States fall into the category. So, frictionally unemployed, your common form of unemployment, and that's what you want to know. Seasonal unemployment, what does that mean? What does seasonal unemployment mean? Well, it goes by season. It depends on what's going on. You could probably, if I stopped for a minute and said, what are some seasonally unemployed jobs that you could come up with? Hopefully you would say people who are cutting grass, people who are working on maybe people who work on a baseball field, Major League Baseball, football field, something like that. Maybe it's somebody who is a farmer. That's going to be one. If you people up north, they have people that go all over the country during silage season to cut the silage. It could be somebody maybe that when the crops are coming in, you hire a couple of people and then you lay them off at the end of the crop season because of you don't need them the rest of the year. That's seasonal unemployed. It goes with season. Does that mean that person doesn't have a job year round? Maybe not. Or maybe he doesn't have a job during that time period. Maybe they make so much money, which is possible to make that in certain jobs. You make so much money in 3, 4, 5, 6 months, and the other 6 months you're out of work and you're not employed. You're technically unemployed, but you'll be re-employed once the season comes back around. So whatever season that may be. So this is a temporary thing that's going to go in waves at different times. Occurs when industry slows or shuts down for a season. You could come up with a lot of things that you think about. Slowdown's a big thing. Tourism in the summertime, the beaches and things like that, that's a great example of a slowdown because the beaches don't close year round, but you don't have the same amount of people coming in as you do in the spring and the summer. Once the winter months hit, even on the beach, I mean, it's warmer there, but you don't have the droves and droves of people going around. And the other side of that would be places where there's snow and things like that. In those seasons, it's very, very busy, and there's a lot of people going there. But then when there's no snow, there's nobody skiing, there's nobody going to be there. So those things will slow down. So they'll lay people off, they'll hire them back in the summer. A lot of times those people are going to be your younger people who can afford and be able to make those seasonal changes with unemployment, but it could be somebody who just makes a buttload of money doing those things on the beach or just in the skiing resorts or other tourism places. You see what I'm talking about there. There's your harvest schedule / vacation type things, as you talk about some of the examples that I listed before. Economists expect to see seasonal employment each year. And that's something, they're not paying attention to that. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're looking at that, paying attention to that, but they're not concerned about seasonal employment. When you say, I am a tractor driver for a silage wagon, that's my job, and you're unemployed right now, well, it's December. There's probably no silage growing anywhere in the United States unless there happened to be a warm spell and somebody had some late plants or something like late planting going on. I don't know what the rest of the weather's like in most of the states, but unless it's New Mexico, probably not going to happen. So they're worried about the person. They'll make sure he goes back to work next year, because if he doesn't go back to work next year, might be because of a drought, might be because of coronavirus and people aren't able to buy a plant. I know that a lot of farmers are struggling right now because the market sucks on a lot of different things. They're not able to sell their stuff on the front end. They don't know how much money they're going to make this year. So a lot of different things go on with farmers and stuff with their hiring and firing for those seasons. They may not be able to afford to hire somebody if they don't get their numbers up quickly. Government policymakers do not take steps to prevent this kind of unemployment. They're not trying to prevent this. Again, they're paying attention to it. They understand it. They want to make sure these people come back unemployed a year later or the next season, but they're not trying to take steps to prevent that. They're not trying to find ways to make it warmer year-round for a silage cutter, make it warmer year-round for grass-cutting people, so on and so forth. Trying to find ways to vacation year-round. You can vacation year-round, but the beach is going to be cold. It's going to be cold. People don't go. Just part of it. You don't want to go into the spring and summer. That's just how we are. Winter heat, cold rain, droughts can all ruin harvest schedules, which of course those can extend unemployment, seasonal unemployment for different people, as I mentioned before.